Okay, so I just want to introduce myself a little bit, and my name is Amy Cardoso, and right now I'm a college freshman. I currently go to the University of Southern California, where I'm studying political science and PR and advertisement. So I'm a little bit into like the advocacy world, and I really want to like either become a lawyer or go into entertainment law, but I'm also really interested in beauty marketing and just learning how to market in general. And also, I wanted to thank you since I know that you are pledging 1% to Pineapple Women. And I just wanted to say thank you for funding the program and believing in it, and also for helping young women with their professional careers. But since I have you here today, I just thought that it would be good for you to introduce yourself to everyone here.
Yes, of course. First of all, it's my honor to be a part of the program to support Pineapple Women. I am so glad I met Andrea that day at Amigas in Business. And we got to talking, and I was introduced to all the wonderful things that this program is accomplishing and the mission. And I've had so many mentors in my life. So to be included in this as a pineapple woman is a dream, and also for Aloisia Beauty, it's part of our mission to support women and lift each other up. So I'm excited. Thank you for the opportunity. And we are a skincare company that is founded by Latinas. And our clean skincare line is for all skin types. And it's a worry-free type of skincare line where you don't have to worry about what ingredients are included because we've done the work, the research, the ingredients are safe and healthy and clean, what's considered clean. And it's a beautiful line that's all about flooding your skin with hydration. So we launched this company about 5 years ago, and we've been working hard to break through. And it's a challenging path, but I've learned so much along the way, and I'm happy to share, what I've learned in hopes that you can find some little seeds there that can help you. And also, I love what you're studying because that was actually my same path. My dream was to be a lawyer. Yes, and
Mhm.
entertainment law, and I wanted to be an advocate. I actually wanted to study international law. My
Oh,
my minor was international relations,
mhm.
and my dream was to work for the United Nations and to be involved in U.S.-Mexico relations somehow. But my path wasn't that. So that's part of my
Mhm.
story. And I'd love to know about you guys' story and how I can, provide some tidbits that can help you.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of people who like originally want to go into law and then they're like, I actually ended up in something completely opposite. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I was a chicken. I was afraid of the financial
Hmm.
obligation, and I got a job and I took the job, and I went that way. And then once I was starting to make money, I don't know, I just was scared. But I don't know what my life would have been if I would have taken that leap of faith. Who knows? You know?
Well,
So
it all worked out in the end. So,
yeah, it did.
yeah.
It did. It did.
Hmm. Okay, well, I'll be asking you 5 questions and it'll just be like short, quick, hopefully easy kind of questions,
Okay.
direct. So the first question that I wanted to ask you kind of ties into what you were talking about. I know that you originally didn't go straight into the beauty
Mhm.
industry. Instead, you were studying biotech and diabetes care. So I was just wondering how you were able to take that leap of faith and pursue your passion in creating your own beauty brand, in spite of it being like a completely different career
Yeah, it's
switch.
kind of part of the same thing. You know how I was saying that I didn't pursue my
Mhm.
dream. I took a job, and I was very fortunate that where I started working as an intern, actually my last year at the university, I started working as a marketing intern at this biotech company. And what they did, they made tests that will tell you if you've got a certain, I don't know, condition, or if you're pregnant, or if you're this or that, or if you have drugs in your system. So that's what the company made. And it was a smaller company when I started, and I was able to work for the I went through a few management changes, but I had great mentors there. And they put a lot of trust in me and they taught me a lot. And so I grew with that company. And since it was a smaller company, it was kind of a startup at that time. I was involved in a lot of the product development. I was responsible for product management when a product was being researched to going through FDA, through the quality system, through actually launching. So I was involved in all that. And so I learned on the job. And then my career continued. I got married. I worked with my husband. We had a business where we worked with Korean manufacturers with diabetes products and for many years. And I was really, really impressed with Korean quality and manufacturing. I just had such a good relationship with a lot of scientists there. And so that's like my career evolving, right? And then when I was a little bit older, my kids were older, I decided I was working for a company with diabetes care. It wasn't a great experience. And I decided to, you know what, I know a lot of things and I want to pursue a passion. And my daughter was getting into skincare. I mean, she was younger, like 8 years old, but she wanted to try all the products. And then so clean beauty started to become really important for me. And I was, my skin was dry and patchy, and I had a lot of issues with rosacea. So I was always looking for products that would deliver long-lasting results. So I had the opportunity presented itself that I knew a scientist in Korea. I was familiar with the manufacturing process. We could talk, and I knew I couldn't do it alone. So I formed a partnership with the laboratory. And then I worked also to develop a partnership with other people here in the US that could help me. So a friend that did PR, a friend that knew, sales, marketing, business. So we formed a team. And I didn't know that my friends were Latinas uh, because I met them through a friend, like it didn't. And it just so happens that right now everyone on the team on the US side is Latinas. But we didn't intentionally do it that way, but it just so happens. So that's how I pivoted. That's how, but it was just like at 40, I don't know, 47, 48, I said, I'm going to take a leap of faith and I'm going to try to do something that I'm passionate about because yeah, my career was great. I learned a lot when I was in biotech and all that, but it was products that I wasn't like personally passionate about. I don't have diabetes, I don't, so I understand I'm was grateful to be a part of that, but I was, this is like very personal for me. So that's how.
No, yeah, I think that's very admirable, to be honest, because I think that a lot of people are always scared to like have a complete different career switch because they think like, oh, what would people think? Like they probably think I failed at this. But in reality, it's like, you know what? Sometimes you have other passions and you want to pursue that. So yeah.
And you know what's funny? I've noticed that men don't think that way. Like in business, men, they'll try things. If it didn't work, they move on. And for women, we take it so personally. Like I am personally attached to my brand. Like
Yeah.
I don't want it to fail because I don't want to disappoint anyone. Also, like we as women, we sometimes think that way, and we shouldn't. We should just take risks, give it our best, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, move on. Another risk, another
No, yeah. Yeah,
adventure.
I think that men are just viewed very like, oh, well, they're trying their best. Like they're actually like going out there and putting effort. But then when it comes to women, it's like, maybe you should try like going after something that's more secure, but it's like no, like
Yeah.
it's trial and error.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Also I had a second question for you. So I know that women entrepreneurs receive less funding to start their
Yes.
business, and they also receive a lot of skepticism
Yep.
when it comes to opening a business, especially because, funders are kind of like, well, is this going to be successful? Should we actually invest in this? So I was just wondering that since Aloisia Beauty is a woman-founded brand and Latina-founded brand,
Mhm.
did you face any sexist barriers and how did you persevere past them to ensure the success of your brand?
It's really true that Latinas, I think the percentage is that they only get like 2% of VC funding. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. It is, Andrea. It's very, it's minimal. And so I have been trying. But we haven't gotten to that point where I can say I've been successful. So far, we've been self-funded. So it has been a limitation to our growth.
Mhm,
We've accomplished so much so far um, as an independent brand in such a crowded marketplace.
mhm.
The products are amazing, so that's one of the reasons they perform. People, once they start using them, they fall in love with them. But it's definitely been a challenge. So yes, I don't know, what the answer is. I did reach out to my university, the University of San Diego, where I graduated, and I asked if they had any programs to support small business owners and getting funding. And they actually paired me with a woman. Her name is Dr. Sylvia Ma. And she's a woman, a trailblazer that is pushing forward to get women investors, helping women to become investors, and then helping investors, pairing them with women founders. So there are women out there that are doing amazing things. So things are changing, but
Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you can like reach out to your college to get like some help for that. So,
I didn't either, but
yeah.
but you just try.
Yeah. Okay. And also since Aloisia Beauty is a Latina owned brand, how we mentioned,
Mhm.
I thought that it was appropriate to note how a lot of consumers in the beauty brand, like skincare, makeup, there usually are Latina. So I was wondering, what advice can you give young girls who are passionate about entrepreneurship?
To follow it, to to like you said, there if they're passionate, we as Latinas, we do pay attention to our appearance and how we're, our moms were always like, put on the lipstick and do these things. So it's it's part of about what interests in the beauty industry, because the beauty industry is huge. It encompasses everything from hair, skin, makeup, beauty tools. There's so many opportunities. And then even within the beauty industry, there's so many different things that you can do. You can be a formulator, you can be in regulatory, you can be in marketing. If you're a very hands-on and creative person, you can work on events because, the beauty companies, they're constantly doing, you know, product launches where they're showcasing their products, or they're going to a trade show and they need to show their a display. So if you're super creative, you can do that. So there's just be strategic about what interests you and pursue it and try it. And, and then with social media, you have the opportunity to also like share what you're trying and build a community. And that's also great. It's also a great opportunity. So build your community and think about what interests you the most, because you can find a place for you within the beauty industry.
No, yeah, I love to hear that because especially since I'm in college, I know that, when you say like, oh, I'm studying marketing, I think a lot of people kind of turn their eye and they're like, well, that's not like a real thing. But it's like, no, it's much more than that, like just because I want to go into beauty, it doesn't mean that I'm just like falling into like a stereotype, like, oh, you just like makeup, this and that, it's a silly job. Like, no, I can actually do something and like put out really good products with that. So yeah.
Absolutely. It's nothing silly about it. I mean, marketing is critical. Great marketing is critical to building your brand, building your connection with your customers. It's really important. So marketing is very important.
So I'm also sure that you've experienced a lot of trial and error when it comes to conducting your brand. So
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, during these early stages of creating Aloisia Beauty, were there any mistakes that you would say for entrepreneurs to avoid?
Oh yeah. How much time do we have? I mean, yes, there's a ton of mistakes. You learn as you go. One of the things is, I mean, I don't know where to start. Um, we let's say, for example, is when you are a founder, a lot of people reach out to you and they make a ton of promises about what they can do, and that's something that you have to be very careful with. So I'm talking about like with advertising and or companies that help you set up an account with this or that they promise you I can achieve this for you. So you have to be very, ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid and ask for, assurances or just that. Um, for us as a small brand, as a small business, when we were starting, I think building a community is something that I wish we would have done more of even before we launched. So my team, my co-founders and I, we were so focused on presenting like a very professional, especially since I came from biotech, the way that we talked to the people that were purchasing our products was very formal, very rigid. Like everything had to be perfect. And so we spent a lot of time on building a perfect website and that, but we didn't want to show like the behind the scenes and the story of getting there because we wanted to present like a perfect product. And I think if we would have built a community and shared more along the way, people like to see that. And people like to see your fails and your accomplishments and that days are messy and that days are not everything's perfect. And I wish we would have shared more of that. So that's probably I would even call it a mistake. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think with like social media now, I feel like people really appreciate that honesty and being very like candid.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that that's really good advice
Yeah.
for like everyone.
So yeah.
Also the last question, there are a lot of young girls who I know that would love to break into the industry, like beauty industry, all of it, or just any like entrepreneur side.
Uh-huh.
So I was wondering, are there any experiences that you think are helpful with building skills that will contribute to a successful brand?
Oh, that's a great question. Skills that would be helpful towards I actually think whether or not you want to be a founder or if that's your ultimate goal or not, I would recommend doing an internship or, trying different things within the beauty industry because you learn on the job. Just like when I was at the biotech company, at the manufacturing company, I didn't know that sitting in those meetings where we were talking about product development, that sitting in those meetings where we were talking about quality control systems and when we were talking about contract negotiation and I didn't know that that was building something that I could use in the future towards what I wanted. So just try to get on the job experience so that you can see what you're good at, but also you have those tools in your toolbox.
No, yeah, I think that's like very important even now going back to like being in college. It's kind of like shows you like what you like and what you dislike or what you hope to bring
Yeah.
into the brand. And also, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
And then also, are there any questions that any of you guys would like to ask Veronica?
Anybody in the audience? Jushan, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, I did have one. Well, I had a couple, but just starting off, I wanted to thank you. Thank you for coming. This was like all very useful information, and like it gave me an insight into the beauty industry world that I did not know about before.
Oh,
But my first question, it's more like of a side tracking question, but since you're like the basically the founder of Aloisia Beauty,
uh-huh.
how do you pronounce it? Sorry. Um,
So I say it Aloisia Beauty, but
Aloisia.
maybe just because of my accent that's how I pronounce it.
Okay, Aloisia Beauty. Okay.
Uh,
And because I'm also like trying to get into skincare and things like that, what is your favorite product from your brand? Like this is just for my personal, yeah.
oh, such a hard question. That's like they're all like my children, so I can't choose a favorite. But I think my favorite product is our Glow Exfoliating Soft Peel,
Oh,
because you can see instantly a result. as you use it, you're actually watching the product together with like your dead skin cells ball up and you're seeing it. But as soon as you're done exfoliating with it, you can see how radiant and glowy your skin looks, and it just feels so soft. So that's one of my favorite products because it's an instantaneous pick me up for your
Oh,
skin.
okay. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Um, and then my second quick one, is like, how did you exactly like build your brand? Like, did you start independently, or did you have like a team of like maybe your friends or other people that you found from like a different community who were interested in skincare, and then you guys kind of like created Aloisia Beauty?
Yeah, so it definitely with a team. So we're a trio of founders, and we were four before, but now we're three. And one had expertise in PR, one had expertise in talent management, which means like reaching out to influencers. One had expertise in sales. So we collectively pulled our talents together. It is, it's such a hard job to build your brand, and the fact being with for me personally, I rely on my co-founders so much. Like we're constantly bouncing ideas off of each other, and you might think you have a great idea, then she might have a different perspective, and then you reach something, altogether different. That's wonderful. So I like that. So it's been a team. And then, of course, the scientists that are developing the products with us are critical to the success of the brand building, right? So everybody has their expertise and we work together. But yeah, it's a team.
Does anyone else want to share a question?
Okay, so hi everyone. Hi Veronica. It's thank you for coming on here and talking to all of us. I feel everything was very inspiring. And I would say my question is how were you like when you first started, what was your mindset of like the plan you had of the skincare and now like the plans that you have like to move on forward? Has it changed throughout the time? And like also, did you incorporate everyone's ideas as well? Like, how did you work with the team?
Yes. So again, the it's so interesting because we started with one product, sheet masks.
Mm-hmm.
And we were so in love with the performance and everything. And I actually we the original branding that we started with, we ended up rebranding. And that was my co-founders, Chrissy and Nicole. They were like, we're not feeling it. We need to do some. So we were like, okay, let's try. And it ended up being one of the best things that we could have done because we really found our identity through our branding. And it was a great experience, but that we did that during COVID because we were like, we had the opportunity, the space to just think about more about our brand and what we wanted it to mean. And then we also worked on expanding our product line. So it started with one product, and then we moved into your daily essentials, which were the cleansers, and then we kept expanding. And now last year we introduced LED light therapy. So now we're going from, what we say is we're going from surface to cellular to give you more results. And we plan to continue to develop more products. We actually have new technologies that we're working on to continue to give better solutions in skincare that have the latest innovations in technology that make it easier, that better results. And we keep expanding on that. And our goal is to eventually become a nationwide known and trusted brand that people, once they start with our products, they know that they're there for the long run, that our products will keep their skin healthy and glowy for the long run. Because that was one of my main frustrations, that products would work for me for about a 6-month period. And then the issues that I had with dry skin and rosacea, they would come back after a while. So, I hadn't found something that was my go-to. And that's what we want Aloisia to be for people.
Well, thank you so much. That's very inspiring. And I'm happy and I'm also excited to see how it all turns out. And I'll
Well,
definitely be looking at it and telling my friends about
thank
it
you.
as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank
And I think it wouldn't be a question. I think it'll just be like, what are 3 pieces of advice you can give to us girls? Like if that they would like to go into the beauty industry or also career-wise.
you. I think something that's critical, and one thing that appealed very much to me was the idea of storytelling, because personally, when in my life, I think I started thinking that if I downplayed the things that I do, people would think that I'm so efficient. But that ended up being like I'm downplaying myself. And I've observed from other successful people that they're very good at talking about their skills and what they're actually contributing to the team, and they seem more important. Even I start to think, oh yes, they're more important, and I'm still in the mentality. So don't downplay what you do. Make sure that you focus on what you are contributing, because we all are contributing a lot. So that part of the storytelling is very important. So focus on what your story is, and you have the power to decide, are you going to focus on the negative? Are you going to focus on the positive? Are you going to focus on what you can't do or what you can do? So work on yourself.
Mhm.
As you're progressing in your career, always work on yourself and remind yourself of all the things that you can accomplish and that you are accomplishing. That's really important. And then another thing that I've learned is that it's not always the smartest person that reaches their goals. It's the person that perseveres. So if you have, that passion that you want to achieve this, you will achieve it. Nobody can stop you. So it's not necessarily the person that's the smartest or that has the fanciest degree or that can speak the most eloquently or whatever. It is the person that perseveres, the person that fails and gets right back up. That's the person that reaches their goals. So those are my pieces of advice.
Thank you
And be
so
kind to
much.
yourself. Yeah, be kind to yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There anybody else?
Oh, Yvonne is saying her mic is not working. What would you say is your biggest accomplishment?
Maybe you want to read it aloud.
Uh,
Your mic is off.
So it says, hello, my mic is not working, but I do have a question. What would you say is your biggest accomplishment so far in regards to your brand? Like what you are proudest of?
So what I'm proudest of is the community that we've built, our customers. And when I read their testimonials, the impact that the products have actually had in their lives and the way that they see themselves, the confidence that they have, that is my proudest accomplishment. That is when I'm feeling down, I go back and I read reviews, because that's really my motivator. So of course, aside from my kids and my family, right? That's my greatest accomplishment. With regards to the brand, that the community that we've built with our customers.
Anyone else?
I just want to comment because I love that Veronica said about storytelling, because that's what Pineapple Women, Pineapple Empowered, the program is all about. And that's kind of like what we teach the girls, to have very strong narration of their story and to put it somewhere visible so they could share it with other people. And like you said, like have in that website that they create their accomplishments clear and loud, and how they have participated, even if it's in a piece of it, but have it there. Tell that story and don't be shy about it. It's yours and own it. So I love that you said that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, so to close this all up, I just want to say thank you for sharing with us today. And I will for sure take your advice into my professional career in like marketing. I will take that into consideration. But I wanted to ask you just one short little question. If you could describe Aloisia beauty in one word, what would it be?
Ooh, in one word.
Yeah. It could be multiple if you want, but just for a challenge. One.
Oh, well, I would say it's glowing from within,
Mhm.
glowing from within, because we're all about building up your confidence through skincare, encouraging you to take care of yourself.
Mhm.
Our skincare is meant to be an experience that helps you unwind at the end of the day, or helps you feel invigorated in the mornings. I want people to feel nourished, feel healthy and glowing, and so glow from within.
No, I love that. It reminds me a lot of like how Selena Gomez talks about that, like glowing from within. Yeah, really love that. So,
And thank you. And again, thank you so much, as Amy said, for being one of our, like definitely our first sponsor for the 1% Flesh. And we are absolutely happy about this and so grateful. And this will open and keep us up to keep giving these girls the opportunity to be in our programs. So thank you so
I
much.
love it. I love it. Thank you for letting me be a part of it.